Unfortunately, most of the women that you're gonna meet are gonna be inconsistent, especially if you're an average looking guy. That's just how that works. And what guys don't understand is that a lot of the things that makes you unattractive, a lot of the things that gives women a weird vibe, those things are really just your reaction to women's inconsistency. The more you react to inconsistent women, the more unattractive you're going to be unconsciously. In other words, you're going to develop habits that's going to repel more women away. It's like the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. The needy get needier and the abundant people who have abundant mindset get more abundant. And the reason why that is because of momentum. Women can sense when you feel insecure. What makes you most insecure is inconsistency. Plain and simple. You become secure whenever you could predict behavior. All of a sudden you become secure and you become confident. That's what you call that mastery. The problem with a lot of guys is not just the fact that they're not attractive to women. Don't get me wrong, that is a real thing. The next biggest problem is the fact that they're just too insecure. They are afraid of losing. They are afraid of what they don't know. So as a result, you develop a lot of needy habits that you cannot tell yourself. You cannot notice it yourself because you're in the fog of emotions. But other women can see right through you. They can sense your insecurity. So how do you overcome that? Right? Because it is true. When you consistently get rejected by women, there is a feeling inside of you that says the next girl that I'm going to meet is going to do the same. And because of that, you're going to react to that feeling with needy and desperate behavior that you're just not aware of. I'm sorry. Like, women could tell. Don't get me. What's funny is that ask the women who didn't like you. Ask them about you. Ask them for feedback. And you're going to notice you're going to get a certain feedback that you may not like. And that feedback might be that you were just too needy. You were just too desperate. You creeped me out. And the reason why you're sending those signals is because there's inconsistency. There's incongruency in your words, thoughts, and in your action. What do I mean? You feel insecure. You don't like what you're feeling. So there's friction already inside. There's a goddamn civil war within you. But then you try to sound confident. But it's almost like a perfume that smells like BO. You could sense there's something off about it. So how do you deal with that? Well, what got you here is not the rejection. It's not the inconsistency of women. What got you here is your reaction to the inconsistency. You have developed karma, negative karma. In other words, the more negatively you react to that negative feeling, the more negative feelings you're gonna get. And that's gonna be part of your identity. And unfortunately, the self is always coming through. So how do you do that? Well, when I went to a 10-day silent retreat, one of the things they told us is not to jack off, for example, right? So one of the things that goes through your mind a lot is sex, because you're seeing all of these spiritual baddies, like, cause you have the girls and the guys, but you're looking on your right and you're seeing on the other side there's some spiritual baddies. There's some spiritual girls, man. I'm like, yo, you looking good there, looking all enlightened. And every day they get skinnier too, because we're barely eating. And what they told us is that when you have the desire for sex, what you got to do is not react to it. What you got to do is keep the meditation process. In other words, reacting to the desire for sex by rubbing one off creates more desire. But if you just sit down and keep scanning the body, which I'm going to show you how to do, what you actually do, you convert that uncontrollable desire for sex you convert it to self-discipline. So anytime a woman reacts to you negatively, what I don't want you to do is go into your head. I want you to try this. Feel your hand right now. Just feel your hand. Okay, good. Now feel this part of your hand. Okay, now feel this part of your arm. Feel your bicep. Feel your tricep. Feel your shoulder. Now go through the same process and you feel this, feel this, feel this. Now feel your chest here. And then feel this chest. And then feel this. Like you literally feel it from within. Feel how the clothes feel on it. Feel how the air feels on it. And what you want to do is go from head to toe. Head to toe. Toe to head. head to toe. Toe to head, head to toe. So what's going on here? You get the text, motherfucker, I don't like you. And you're like, oh, but now you're like, wait a minute, motherfucker, I don't like you. Reaction, your normal reaction, neediness. But now close your eyes and scan. Top of your head, forehead, nose, until you get to the bottom, and then you go back and forth. And bring your most and deepest attention to the sensation that you're feeling. And do not stop the process. Keep going in the same routine. Whatever way you do it, just keep the same routine, and don't let the emotion lessen the intensity of your focus. What you are doing, this is honestly what the Buddha taught. This is the secret to liberation. Anytime you get that negative reaction from the woman and you react negatively, just for 5 minutes, scan the body, go back and forth, scan the body. Because what you're doing, you're removing the energy from your mind that interprets this as bad and creates an identity. You're removing that energy and bringing it to the body. Because what happens is that when you feel negative, when you react to her inconsistency, you disassociate. There's a certain part of yourself that doesn't feel your body as much. And that lack of feeling, that's lack of sensation in the body, will then intensify your mind to create more thoughts that revolve around that rejection, which creates an identity, which then emanates and is reflected in your nonverbal cues. You break that pattern by bringing sensation back to the body that your mind took. And so you'll notice that all of a sudden you might feel this part a lot more. But also you might notice your thoughts aren't as intense. It's because your thoughts stripped away consciousness from your body into the mind and created an identity which acts through you without you even knowing it. So what you want to do or you could purchase, honestly, I talk about this in my course, Emotional Mastery. It's a course that I made specifically for this. Seriously, check out Emotional Mastery. That course literally talks about this. And I give you guys like a very step-by-step process. This is the course that teaches you this, people. So you're bringing consciousness into the body, back into the body from your mind, and all of a sudden you break the pattern that created this problem. And honestly, if you want to do this more intensely, go to a 10-day meditation retreat. But something that happened when I did that, was that all of a sudden, women started reacting differently after I came from the meditation retreat. Women were more receptive. I remember going on second and third dates more than I've ever been. My nonverbal cues, I remember, became so much more softer. And there were things that I said to women that came from pure love and compassion for humanity that they just gained my trust. And honestly, when I was listening to myself talk, I'm like, oh my God, anybody that says this to me, I'll trust them. Like, for example, like I remember one of the first things that I said was like, yeah, man, like, honestly, I'm the type of person that when I like you, I'll tell you that I like you. And I don't care if it comes across needy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm totally fine with the girl rejecting me. And I know that sounds crazy to say that to a girl, but what I noticed is that a woman, she told me a few months later, she was like, Alexis, when you told me that, it just came across as so confident. Like you were vulnerable, but at the same time confident at the same time. And these are things that you say unconsciously because you have changed from within. And like I always say, this self is always coming through, no matter what. So react to women's inconsistency by going back into the body. And that's all you got to do. It will liberate you from the need to get a woman's validation, because you have validated yourself by actually observing and paying attention to yourself. All right? So yeah, that's how you do it, people. Anyways, don't forget, like I said, please give that course, Emotional Mastery, a try. It's a 5-week course. Set 8 weeks if you purchase the gold package, that will teach you forbidden meditation techniques that I cannot teach on YouTube. What I just said was part of it, but it's deeper than that. All right. So click on the description down below to purchase Emotional Mastery. It's literally the inner game course. There's body game, there's outer game, there's natural game. That is the inner game of game. All right. Click on the description down below, and I'll see you guys inside. Take care.